In real numbers, we have Euclid division algorithm, then fundamental theorem of arithmetics, then one more thing, we have, if a number is in the form of p by q, whether it is terminating or non-terminating, we decide based on the, if q is in the form of 2 power m 5 power n, if q is not in the form of 2 power m and 5 power n, then it is a terminating decimal. It is not a what?
Sir, 1 second. Everyone is telling that voice is not clear and even video is not clear. Just can you increase your voice?
Yeah, it is a little bit far. It is a little bit far. Yeah, now is it okay?
Yeah, sir.
Is it audible now?
సార్ ఎలా అవుతుందంటే ఒక్కొక్కసారి బ్లర్ అవుతూ దెన్ ఇట్ ఈస్ గెటింగ్ ఫోకస్డ్ అలా వస్తుంది సార్ వీడియో, అంటే స్టాండర్డ్ గా ఉండట్లేదు.
There's a little bit distance between the phone and my mouth.
ఓకే, ఇట్స్ ఓకే సార్. ఓకే, బాగానే ఉంది. కొంచెం వాయిస్ కొంచెం పెద్దగా చెప్పండి.
Yeah, you will raise my voice.
Okay, okay.
Now, children, you listen to me. And one more thing, logarithms. So these are the four to five fundamentals. Four or five. One more thing is that proving whether the in the form of a plus or minus root b, and another one root a plus or minus root b, and some will be like that, root a plus or minus some a into root b. Prove that whether the this given expression is irrational or not. So these are all the key concepts. Now you might have know the you might have know the Euclid division algorithm. Now based on the Euclid division algorithm, so simply if I would like to explain this concept with your primary level basic division process. If you know, if you divide 11 with 3, what will you do like this? 11, then 3 here. How many times? 3 3s are 9, minus you will be getting 2. Now here, what is called 3? 3 is divisor. What is this one? Dividend. What is this? Sorry, quotient. This is dividend, and this is remainder. If I want the dividend, what I have to do? Divisor into quotient plus remainder. So what Euclid division lemma tells, taking this basic example, if a comma b are the integers, then there exists a unique integers q and r which satisfying the, this is a is equal bq plus r. A is equal bq plus. If you assume that if a is divided by b, you will be getting the quotient q and remainder is r. So here 0 less than or equal to r and less than b. So the remainder is always less than b and it may be equal to 0. So that is the condition. So here, based on the Euclid division lemma, you will be getting the questions, at least 2 mark question or 1 mark question. Definitely you will get a question. What kind of question you may get like that? Find the LCM or find the HCF by following the Euclid division algorithm. So that now I am giving a question, I am writing a question. What kind of question? you see, based on this division lemma, you will be getting at least 2 marks. So is it clear? Some questions will be like that. Can you find, I will tell you, one more question you note down on your notebooks. So this is seems to be a tough question, but it is very simple. If the HCF of 65 and 117 is in the form of 65m minus 117. Please note down the question. Find the value of m and LCM by using Euclid division algorithm. This is the question. Here you what is given first, whatever the question you may come across, but you have to read the question thoroughly. Okay, this is the question. So now how we solve the question? Please listen. Have you written the question? So once again I am repeating the question. If the HCF of 65 and 117 is the form of 65m minus 117, then find the value of m and LCM by so now let us see. Whatever the question it may be, either it is 1 mark question, either it is 1 mark question or 2 mark question or 3 mark question or 4 mark question. So you should follow certain rules in the examination. These are called problem solving steps or phases.
సార్ యాక్చువల్లీ ఒక్క నిమిషం ఏమవుతుందంటే వీడియో ఇలా కాన్స్టెంట్ గా ఉండట్లేదు సార్. మరి దూరం ఎక్కువ అవడం వల్ల అది ఫోకస్ తీసుకోవడానికి ప్రతిసారి కొంచెం డిస్టర్బ్ అవుతుంది.
Now just wait ma'am, I am adjusting.
Your voice is very clear sir, కానీ మధ్య మధ్యలో బ్లర్ అవడం వల్ల మీరు రాసిన స్టెప్స్ అన్ని మేబీ పిల్లలు నోట్ చేసుకోలేకపోతున్నారు.
Okay madam, now let us I will try to my level best because yeah. So you in the examination we have to follow the problem solving steps. You should this is very very important. First is reading the problem and understanding the problem. What is the first step? Reading the problem and understanding the problem. Whenever you read the problem and understanding the problem, then you should write the given. So in your examination, you have been allotted 15 minutes of time for reading the question paper. Okay. Now, given, then what to find? Then what is your next question? What to find? Then after, how to find? So these are all the key steps, steps you should follow. Where if you at the how means there are many ways to find out the solution for every problem. There are one or maybe 2 or more than 3 to 4 or 5 ways of the solving the problem. So whatever the question that here, if you take this question, now what is given? Tell me. The given is the numbers. The numbers are what? 65. Numbers are what? 65 and 117. Their HCF, what is given? HCF is 65m, 7. Then what he has asked, find the HCF, find the HCF by Euclid division lemma. This is the given. Simple. Then what we do? So based on the Euclid division lemma, we have to first of all we have to find out the HCF. Now let us see what I do. So among the 65 and 117, you take the biggest number or bigger number 117. So how many times the 65 goes? Now you can take 65, 1 into 65 plus 52 here. Okay, this is the remainder. So where I use A is equal to BQ plus R. This is the form of the first step. Then again I will take 165. I have to take 65. Listen to me. Then 1, I have to take 1 into 52 plus how much? 13. Again I will take 52. 413 plus remainder 0. Where you get the remainder 0, this quotient will be the what? HCF. Therefore, HCF is equal to 13. So this is the question. Now your part is not completed. What he has given, HCF is 65m minus 117. So you have to equate this one, this both two. So 65m minus 117 is equal to 13. Then what I want to do? 65m is equal to 13 plus 117. Now tell me 65m is equal to 130. Then you do what you do? M is equal to 130 by 65. 65 ones are 65 twos. So M is equal to 2. Now what he has asked? He has asked also you have to find out the LCM also. There what kind of formula or a basic concept you might have known. That is called the product of any two numbers is equivalent to the HCF and their LCM. So this is the basic thing. It is there, not it in a it is not. It is a pre-concept or prerequisite. What I say, these your earlier classes you have come across this concept. Now, what are the two numbers? 65 and 117 is equal. What is the HCF? 13. You don't know the LCM. Just substitute the values, whatever the values you have. Then I need LCM. Then I need LCM. LCM is equal to 65 into 117 by 13. 13 ones are 13 fives. So now 5 into 117. So you do multiplication, then you will be getting what? 585. So that now, so what he has asked? He has asked 2 points. One is find the HCF, 3 points. And now you have to consolidate HCF of the given numbers and value of M and LCM of the given numbers. These are the steps you have to follow. Just I have taken one example for this one question. So it is the same question. You may come across another one. So let us see what one more same question, how it comes in another form. Okay, have you got it? Then next one, one more question. Yeah. Now find the same question. You see how it has been converted. Find the largest number. Find the largest number. Find the largest number which divides 70 and 125, leaving reminders. Leaving reminders 5 and 5 and 8 respectively. So this is the same question what we discussed in the earlier. So what is the question here? What are the numbers given? Given numbers. You have first of all, whatever it may be, please write the heading given in the examination. What are the numbers? 70 and 125. Okay. So the reminders of the numbers, what is 5 and 8. Then the original numbers will come what? 70 minus 5 is equal 65. 125 minus 8 is equal 112. Now what he has asked? Same process. Find the SCF. What is the find the largest number which divides? That is called highest factor. You should have the concept of what is SCF, what is LCM. LCM is least common multiple. Now you have to find out. This is the very important in the question. Largest number which divides. That means that is the HCF of the given number. Now same, find the HCF of the given numbers. What they have done in the earlier. So now by these two questions, what I want to say you that, or what I want to tell you that, same question may come in the different forms. Or one more question will be like this. If Abhijna said that the HCF of the 65 and 113 is 13 or 15. One more. This is the question. Find the largest number which divides 70 and 125, leaving the reminders 5 and 8 respectively. This is the question. So it is another form of the first question. What is the first question? Find the HCF of the if the HCF of the given numbers number 65 and 113 is 65 minus 117 form. What he has asked there, you have to find out the HCF also. Now these are the original numbers. How the numbers have been converted into another form, that is 70 and 125. The reminders are given. So when the reminder gives, you have to subtract from the numbers, given numbers. Understand? So this is the way you have to prepare for the examination. So there you won't get a direct problem from the textbook, but you will get such a parallel problem from your textbook. So if you prepare in the Euclid division lemma, then A is equal to BQ plus R. You will be getting a, R will be like this in A. R is equivalent to 0 always anantadu. లేదా R is less than B less than 0 less than R like this. And one more thing, the options will be like this. Then C, R 0 less than or equal to R less than B, and D will be 0 greater than or equal to R greater than or equal to B. So you might have been confused. So now what I want to, so the basic, if you know the basic concept, it may come in the MCQ also. This is the way you have to, you should have the grip on the key concepts. Okay, so that is one kind of question. By talking like this, when you are preparing in every chapter, you have to analyze the chapter. You have to first you write the key concepts. Then, as per the concept, you have to prepare. So one more thing, if some 7 by 250. What kind of question is? Akila said that the 7 by 250 is a terminating number, can be converted into terminating decimal. Do you agree with Akila or not, and justify your answer? So this is the question. Then how you, what is the concept behind this, based on this question? So Same, if x is in the form of p by q, where q is in the form of 2 power m into 5 power n, then terminating decimal. If q is not in the form of 2 power m and 5 power n, it is not terminating decimal. It is a non-terminating recurring decimal. Understand? So this is called reasoning question. So you don't worry about the tags, reasoning question or communication question, something. Don't worry about this. But if the question is like that, 7 by 250 is a terminating decimal, Akila said. Do you agree? Yes, I agree with Akila. Why? Because it's a numerator is in the form of something. Now you have to do the numerator in what? Prime factorization 2, 125. Now next 3, is equal to no, 5. 5, 25 and 5 plus. Now 1, 2, 250 is in the form of 5 cube. Hence, it is in the form of 2 to the power of n and 5 power n. Hence, I can say it is a terminating decimal. Likewise, you have to write the answers in such a way. When it is a reasoning question, what you have to do, you have to specify the rule, you have to write the rule, or you have to write the formula, or you have to write the quote the theorem, or whatever the reason is there, you have to quote it, and either you agree, you can quote the justify with your justification. That is called your explanation. So these kind of questions you may come across. And one more thing I would like to tell you, I told you, this is called a communication question, direct equations or direct formulae or a direct formula, they are called as what communication questions. So one more very, very important is there are if root 3 is a irrational number, prove that. So you almost all you don't get this kind of questions, but you may got 3 plus root 5. Show that 3 plus root 5 is a irrational number. For this is the general form I have told you, a plus r minus root b. So what you do, this is a, it may be the 2-mark question. Understand? So for whatever it may be, we have to prove with a contradiction. Understand? So for this, we have 3 r plus r minus root 5 is equal to u. Be that let it be the let it is a rational number. It is there in your textbook. For this, don't root 5. I'm going to don't do that. Root 5 is equal to p by q minus root. So root 5 is equal to simple. Don't do SBS on squaring on both sides. P minus 3q by q. Now again it is a what? It is a rational number. Root 5 already it is proved. Root 2 is proved is irrational number. Now what you have to write here? An irrational number is not never equals to the rational number. So hence our assumption is contradiction. Then we have to say 3 plus root 5 is a rational number. That sentence is very important in writing this. It is a question in attempting this question. Okay. Now one more thing is another question, another type of question for proving also in this chapter. Root a plus r minus root b, or root a plus r minus some k constant into b. These kind of question means what kind of question you may get. So root 7 plus 10 into root 5. Prove that it is an irrational. For this, what you have to do? You have to let it be a contradiction of assumption p by q. Then you can do both without shifting this one also. You can do squaring on both sides, or you can do as per your textbook, shift one thing and squaring on both sides. Again, you will be getting one irrational number and one rational number. Then what do you say? An irrational number is never equivalent to the rational number. hence our assumption is what is wrong or it is contradiction, then the given form root a plus or minus b is an irrational number. So this is very, you will get 4-mark question or 2-mark question from these two concepts. Understand? So this is one kind of questions you may get in the chapter. So likewise, another one more concept is there, logarithms. What do you mean by logarithms? So the logarithmic formula are there. What is log and what kind of log n base a is equal to x. Vice versa, you can see then n is equal to a power x. This is a basic concept. Now some more concepts are there. You should remember log xy base a, log x into y, that is equal to log x plus log y base a base a. Log x by y base a, log x a minus log y a. And one more thing, log x power n is equal to n log x. So from this, you will be getting some sub log of root x 1 by 2 log x base a base a, like this. In the same way, log a base b can be split into log a base x by log b base x. And one more thing is there, log 1 base 10 or is equal to 0 or log 1 base a is equal to 0 or log a base a is equal to 1. If you are aware having the thorough knowledge of this formula, then some questions, what kind of questions you may come across, either that is a communication question or like, so express log 256 by 625 some base 10 will be like this. So now it can be written as log 256 minus log 625. So whatever the base it may be. Shall I rub it? Now. What is 256? Then you have to do 256. It can be 2 ones are, then 2 twos are, 2 eights are. Again 264, 232, 216, 216 are, 2 eights are, 2 fours are, 2 twos. Now how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. Now I can write it as log 256 is can be 2 to the power of 8. It is, I can say 625. Again you do. Tell me 5, 125, 5, 25. Then tell me 5, 5. How many times? 4 times. Log 5 to the power of 2. Now it can be written as 8 log 2 minus 5 log 4. So this is called conversion of the one form to another form, expansion form or synthesis form. So you will be getting what a combination of concepts from this chapter. Okay. So in logarithms, definitely you will be getting the 2-mark chapter or 2 marks or 4-mark question also sometime. So there is no guarantee, but I can say, I can give you from each chapter, you will be getting 7 to 8 marks or 8.5 marks, 7.5 to 8.5 marks. Almost all, 1 to 7 questions are 1-mark question. So an examiner can equalize the chapters. He will give the weightage to equal chapters also. Almost all is, even though there is no there is no weightage for chapters, but we have the weightage for academic standards. Means problem solving is having the 40% weightage. That we mean by problem solving. That problem solving is solving the problems directly with a formula, with a concept. Okay, there is no twist in the formula problem. So that find the LCM, find the LCM like that. Find the LCM of the given numbers by a prime factorization. There is a one more concept is there. So this is called problem solving. So linking the concept and the application type questions are connection questions. So you will be getting a direct problem, 16 marks. That means from each and every chapter, you will be getting a 1 mark question, at least 2 mark question compulsory comes from every chapter. It is 7, either 1 or 2 half mark questions. So you will be getting 7.5 questions, 7.5 marks minimum. Okay. So now you are not supposed to neglect chapter. This chapter is important, that chapter is not important. But some areas are there, we can focus on the areas. Okay. So this is all about the real numbers. Now, my question is, sir, I have done all the questions in my textbook, so I am ready to face the examination. Yes, well and good. Then what you have to do, those who have done the exercise problems very well, then they can collect the other problems or test papers or other problems also. Other than textual problems, you have to solve on your own. If you won't get any doubt, you can consult me directly. Now, what I will do, I will post some chapter-wise revision questions. If you could do all such problems, then I can say you will be getting 10 by 10. Okay. So that is one kind of question. Now let us move to sets. It is very, very important. Sets is a simple chapter and very, important. It is also there may be a chance to get 7 to 8 marks, my dear children. So now, what are the key concepts in the sets? Okay. Now, set concept. You should know the concept of the set and set notation. Notation, what kind of notation? And two kinds of notations are there. One is you can express the set in roster form and set builder form. I will tell you. Then yeah. Yeah.
And darker.
Okay. So set concept. Then notation of sets. Notation of sets is two types: roster form and set builder form. Why I am focusing on this very, very important. If you are aware of these two kinds, it will be very easy. And I will tell you one more on the universal set, then subset and null set. Okay. And operations on set. Operations on set. Okay. Now listen.
Sir, it's okay.
Is it clear? The video?
Sir, it's okay. It is clear. But మధ్యలో ఒక్కసారి just ఒక 2 seconds back struck అయింది. Now it's okay. బానే వస్తుంది. ఇప్పుడు కీ కాన్సెప్ట్స్ దగ్గర నుంచి ఒక్కసారి మళ్ళీ రిపీట్ చేయండి సార్. అక్కడ సెట్ బిల్డర్ వల్ల కొంచెం స్ట్రక్ అయింది.
Yeah. Sets is a very simple chapter. Each and every student touch and nook and corner of this chapter. Very, very important. I'm telling you once again. So it is an easy chapter. So there are the concepts also very easy. But something I will tell you some secret here. What is the secret between this one? In sets, what is the set concept? Set is a collection of well-defined things. So we express the sets in the flower bracket. That is in what we notate. Our notation will be with capital letters. There either in the roster form or in the set builder form. So different sets are there: universal set, subset, and null set. This is another concept. And one more operations on sets. What are the operations? Intersection, union, and subtraction of set and minus. Okay. So, and very, very important, Venn diagrams. I will tell you what kind of Venn diagrams. So sometimes it is a danger. You can get 10 marks also. Is it danger? This is your booster of getting marks. So that these are all the key concepts. Now I would like to tell you that one. I will take one example and explain all these things. Okay. Now, your questions will not be like a banana. It will be in the form of a coconut. What is the difference between a banana and coconut? So if you can peel out the peel the banana peel with very easily. If you want to eat coconut, you have to work hard with you have to break the coconut and then you can take the water and some cobra also. So coconut also. Now here, what I say that if rows of A is equal to something 1, 4, 9, 16. So it is a one collection of numbers. What kind of numbers are these? Can anybody say? These are all 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, and 4 square. So these are all the square numbers less than 16. I can say like that. Or I can write x such that x is n square, where n belongs to natural number n and n is less than 4 or equal to 4. This is one kind of definition. So this is same set. So this is called roster form. This is called set-builder form. If you define the nature of the elements in the set, that is called set-builder form. Please do remember. So if you are aware of conversion to set-builder to roster, roster to set-builder, that will be very fast. Yeah. So now why I am focusing on the set notation or how we two kinds of notations are there: roster form and set-builder form. Okay. Now I have taken A is a set which is the numbers of square numbers 1, 4, 9, 16. So I have observed the nature and the pattern of the number. Then I have defined myself x such that x is an n square, where n belongs to natural number and n is less than or equal to 4. Or I can write this one also for 1 less than n less than or equal to 4 also. It's not wrong. Okay. Now let us see what kind of questions. I will take one example. Now based on this, I will take four many questions on x such that x is equal to n square, where n belongs to n and n 1 less than or equal to n less than or equal to 10. Again b, x such that x is equal to n square, 1 by n square, n belongs to n and 1 less than or equal to n less than 10. Now please, you have to be very keen. You should be the keen observer. X such that x is equal to n square, x such that x is equal to 1 by n square. The conditions are very important. Now my question, I can ask here many questions based on this.
One second.
Yeah, the question is x such that x is equal to n square, comma, n belongs to n, capital N, and 1 less than or equal to n and n less than or equal to 10. Now again b is another set. X such that x is equal to 1 by n square, n belongs to n and 1 less than or equal to n less than 10. Please find out the difference. Okay. Now note my question. If A set A set B are defined below, then find then Lata said that A and B are disjoint set. I have not told disjoint sets. Do you agree with Lata or not? What is the question? If A is a set like this and B is a set like this, then the statement made by Lata, she said that x is equal to n square, x is equal to 1 by square. She thought that so these are disjoint sets. What do you mean by disjoint set? Again, it is one another concept. Okay, disjoint sets are if A, B are the sets, A intersection B is equal to 5 or null set, then A comma B are said to be disjoint sets. Now, anybody can you answer whether they are whether they are disjoint sets or not? Madam, let them. Any student can respond on this.
Students, just post your answer in the comment chat section so that we can find out who can answer it correctly. Yes, from SBH Sri Vaishnavi, yes, they are disjoint sets. Sai Sri are disjoint sets. K Satvika, Sai Dikshit, everyone are saying it is disjoint sets.
Answer or no, madam?
Sir?
Everyone is saying.
Yes.
Anybody answering no?
No, sir. Everyone is telling yes, and it is disjoint sets.
Very good, very good. They are brilliant students. Okay. Now, these are the questions. Now, how do we prove that? Then what you have to do? You have to convert the A into Roster form. But then what is called 1 square 1, 2 square 4, 4. Then tell me, and so on up to. I have to take 10. This is 100. Here B is equal again 1. Tell 1 by 4, 1 by 9, up to 1 by 81. If I take like this, then A intersection B will be 1. So hence they are having one common element. So they are not. So they are not. Tell me, is it equal to 5?
Just put your answer in the chat box, children. Are A and B are disjoint sets? From Nitisha, it is no. From Rakshita Nomala, no. From Sai Dikshit,
Many people
no.
are said that.
Maheshwari, Maidana. No, Indakar, yes, sir. Now for this answer, no one is saying yes, it is no. A intersection B is equals to 5.
పిల్లలు చూసి ఏమనుకున్నారంటే దీన్ని వెంటనే డెఫినేషన్ చూసేసి n స్క్వేర్ కి 1/n స్క్వేర్ కాబట్టి అంటే దీన్ని గుడ్డిగా వాళ్ళు పప్పులో కాలేజ్ ఏమన్నారు డిజైన్ సెట్స్ అని చెప్పేశారు. Yes. So these are the some it's there. It's not a confusing question, but some you have to think. అందుకోసమే సెట్స్ లో మీరు ఏం చేయాలంటే what I'm telling that first basic thing conversion until unless you convert them into the roster form you are not supposed to visualize. Understand? So please don't be in a hurry to conclude yourself without doing the problem. So that is the case I want to tell you. So among your మీలో చాలా మంది నేను మేడం ఎస్ చెప్పాను అన్నాను వెరీ బ్రిలియంట్ అన్నాను. Am I correct or not? So you are brilliant, but so you have to be very conscious. So now as A intersection B is not equal to 5, so that they are not but disjoint sets. So this is a way to prove the. Understand? Now based on I am taking one example and what kind of different questions you may come across in the exam. So they can ask A intersection B. So they can ask A union B, A intersection B, or A minus B. Directly A minus B, A union B, A intersection B. For this also you have to convert them into the roster form. And if you when I talk about the Venn diagram, almost all you won't get a direct Venn diagram. Draw the A union B Venn diagram, draw the A minus B Venn diagram, or draw the A intersection B Venn diagram. You won't get like that. Though you should have an understanding of the. Once again, shall I explain? Yeah. So another question, same concept. The questions will be like this. So whatever the question you come across in sets, they will be in the form of builder form, almost all. And so one question will be like find the A union B, find the A intersection B, find the A minus B, or B minus A. Okay. So now what I want to tell you that then if you find out this, they will ask draw the Venn diagram for A minus B and B minus A. Also, సో ఇక్కడ చూడండి క్వశ్చన్ ఫామ్ అనేది ఏ ఫామ్ ఉన్నా కూడా రోస్టర్ ఫామ్ లో ఉంటుంది. సో ఆ రోస్టర్ ఫామ్ లో ఉన్న క్వశ్చన్ చుట్టూ నేను చూపిస్తాను. అర్థమైందా? సో దీస్ ఆర్ ఆల్ ది సమ్ క్వశ్చన్స్ యు మే కమ్ అక్రాస్ ఇన్ ద సెట్. అండ్ ఇప్పుడు వీటికి వెన్ డయాగ్రామ్ రాయాలంటే కూడా ఏం చేయాలి మనము? అగైన్ వీ హావ్ టు ఫైండ్ అవుట్ ది రోస్టర్ ఫామ్ and then you have to draw. While drawing the Venn diagram, take a universal set here. Then after, what is A, you have to write. What is B, right? Here 1. Here I can take 4, 9 up to 100. Here 1 by 4, 1 by 9, like this, 1 by 81. 9 is of 81. So here A, here B, you have to indicate. So now A union B, you say that you have to write all the elements together. If you want A intersection B, you have to write. Now, what I want to say, A minus B. A minus B means you have to wipe out this. Now, this will be the A minus B. If you say, if you wipe out this one, you will be getting the B minus A. You have to show another Venn diagram. Understand? So, this is the way you have to prepare in the examination. చూడండి చాలా చిన్న క్వశ్చనే మిమ్మల్ని దీన్ని నేను ఏమంటాను అంటే గల్లీ క్వశ్చనే కానీ ఏం చేస్తుంది అప్పుడప్పుడు మనల్ని ఇబ్బంది పడుతుంటుంది. ఇట్లా చాలా క్వశ్చన్స్ ఇంకా ఏమవుతుంటాయంటే యూ షుడ్ హ్యావ్ వన్ బేసిక్ థింగ్స్. ఈవెన్ నెంబర్, ఆడ్ నెంబర్ విల్ బి లైక్ దిస్. సమ్ p is equal x such that x is equal to n, where n can be defined. N belongs to W and n less than or equal to 10. So I will take a less than or equal to, I can take 0 from also. Q x such that x is equal to n plus 1, where n belongs to W. N is less than 10. Again. So now, can you say P and Q are disjoint, or P is a subset of Q, or Q is a subset of P, like that? So these kind of questions you will come across. Further, what you have to do, you have to convert the given, set into raster form, and it is also you have to convert it to raster form. Then you have to relate the question, what kind of question they have asked. Okay, so to draw the Venn diagram, or to relate the question, or to solve the problem, to find the operations of A minus B, A and B, A intersection B also. So these kind of questions may come across. And sometimes, what kind of, write the subsets of a given set. What I can say, x such that A is equal, x such that x is a prime number less than 20. Now tell me what are the prime numbers. A is equal 2, 3, 5, 7, tell me 11, 13, 17 and 19. So how many elements are there? Just count. Then what he asked, write all the subsets of the set. You should have a clear concept of the subset. So now each and every single element like that, these are all the subsets. And again 2, 3, you can combine 2, 3, 2, 5, 2, 7, again 2, 11, 2, 13, 2, 17, 2, 19. So if 2, 5, like this, again 3, 5, 3, 7, 3, 11, again 3, 5, again 5, 7. This is the series. Again 7, 11. So 7, 11, again 11, 13, again 3, 3, again 3, 2, 3, 5, again 2, 3, 5. Then if you check, any రాయగలుగుతాం మనం ఎంత 2 to the power of n. I am taking much. If I take many numbers, you will be getting 2 to the power of n subsets. Okay. Again, you have to remember here, suppose if I take limit for, less than 10. So these are all the, how many? 2, 3, 5, 7. These are all the prime numbers. Less than 10. Now, if I put limit for a little bit number, how many subset can I write? So you should have the null set is the subset of every set. Null set is a subset of every set. Then you have to write the single set and 2, 3, 2, 2 and 3, 3 and again combination. And every set is itself is a subset. Keeping in mind, you have to write all the subsets of the questions. These kind of questions you may come. So sometimes what kind of questions you will come across? If A is a subset of B, A is a direct question I'm asking, then draw the Venn diagram for this one. How do you draw? Yeah, now A is subset of B, find R A intersection B in the then draw the Venn diagram for A intersection B. Yeah. Now here what you do, take subset. A is a smaller one, B is a bigger one. Take B bigger. A, so B is like this. And here A, again, it will be like this. Now, what will be the A intersection B? This is A. But is nothing but A. So if A is subset of B, then A intersection B is equal to A. So this is the way some questions may come across in the exam. So don't underestimate the sets also, but you have to be very keen. You have to be very keen while answering the questions. Okay. So this is all about the sets. Is it clear? Now what I will do that I will post some questions to your sir or madam. Then they will send it to you by WhatsApp. You have to answer all the question and send it to me. Okay. Then I will see who have done good or who have not done. Then if you have any doubt while solving the problem, I will explain that particular problem. But these are all the very good questions. So you may get such kind of questions in the examination. What is the time now?
Yes,
Madam,
sir.
can I continue?
Sir, actually it is 10 now.
Yeah.
So I think even if it is more than an hour, even students are facing the network issue because
Okay.
yeah, Jio is
That's what I'm
supporting. Yeah,
Ready?
yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah.
We shall carry on for the next session, sir. Tomorrow also we have a maths paper 2, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, sir. So tomorrow also we will have the
Same
session.
paper, I will explain the 2-3 chapters. Why I'm taking much time means, so that this is one kind of revision come practice for them.
Yeah, sir.
So this is the way what I feel. So if you